everyone, this is Mammoth PTE. Today we are going to use this retail lecture about air pollution to learn one of the most practical RL strategies, sentence by sentence keyword note-taking. Because so many students of you struggle with RL because you do not know how to write down while listening. Some of you maybe try to record too much and fall behind after a few seconds, and others of you maybe write too little and then have nothing to say. And even when you have notes, you often do not know how to organize them into a coherent response. But the good news is that RL does not require you to understand every single word. What you need to do is a simple and consistent system. So listen to each sentence to extract 2 to 4 the keywords, and then use a template to turn those notes into a fluent answer. Okay, let's practice. I will show you how to do the RL. First, we need to listen to this audio, and please try your best to write down some notes you can do. Okay, let's play it.
In today's lecture, I'm going to talk about changes in air pollution since the middle of the last century and what has created these changes. So, by the 1950s, air pollution was very visible with frequent thick black fogs known as smogs in many large cities around the world. The main source of this pollution was from factories, and it caused severe health problems. For example, a particularly severe smog in London in 1952 caused over 4,000 deaths. Obviously, something had to be done, and in 1956 a Clean Air Act was introduced in Britain. This addressed the pollution from factories, and the smog soon disappeared. However, as you know, these days air pollution is still a big issue. The main difference between now and the 1950s is that you can't see it. It's invisible. Also, the main source of pollution now is from cars and lorries, and although these don't produce visible signs, this air pollution is still a significant risk to health. And one of the key factors in the rise of this type of pollution is that we have all become much more vehicle dependent. There are far more cars and lorries, trains, and planes than in the 1950s, and this is now the main source of air pollution around the world.
We can check our audio transcript and original text to check whether you write down the notes so we can put in our templates and to do this practice. Alright, so some of the critical information we already outlined for you, so maybe you can check, but we still need to analyze the whole original text. So let's do it first, the first sentence. The first sentence says, in today's lecture, that's meaningless, right? That's not for use. So we need to put more attention to our noun phrases and the verb phrases. Especially like, I'm going to talk about changes. What changes? The air pollution. That is very important for us to write down. And you also can write down the time, the middle of the last century. It depends on you whether you can, write down the air pollution consistently to the middle of the last century. If you cannot write down both of them, you need to focus on the first phrases, air pollution, because this one is our main topic, which is related to our content score. Alright, and we can see, and what has created these changes? We need to listen more, information to know what changes are. Okay, let's move on to the second sentence. So, by the 1950s, air pollution, this main topic, repeat again, was very visible. So you can put this small sentence on your note. Air pollution was visible with the thick black fogs. The thick black fogs, which is noun phrases. You can write it down. And in many large cities. It also introduces you some places, because air pollution happens in large cities. And also introduce our main source of pollution. You need to focus on the rest of the sentence. The main source is what? It's from factories. This one is very vital. So you need to put this down. And then cause severe health problems. This is a reason and the results. So we need to put 2 of this. Okay. For example, this original text also gave me some, some explanation. A particularly severe smog in London in 1950 caused over 4,000 deaths. It is explained more in depth about the factories to cause severe health problems. He gave me some exact time, the place, and the number, right? So it doesn't really matter for us. It depends on you. If you can write down more, you can write. And then, obviously, something had to be done in 1956, a Clean Air Act. This is a term. You can write it down. It was introduced in Britain. This addressed addressed, which means give you the solution. Okay, the solution is a pollution from factories and a smoke storm disappeared because of the act. So this is our logic. So you need to put all of these notes down. Okay. If you already write the factories, you don't need to write again. Only once. That's enough. Okay. However, this is a signal word. This is a signal word. Yes, you need focus on the rest of the sentence. These days, air pollution is still a big issue. Okay. What happened next? The main difference between now and the 1950s is that you can't see it. It's invisible. Okay. It's the opposite word for the first, paragraph. The first paragraph said the air pollution was visible. But the second paragraph introduced another, the bad effect is invisible. So what's the reason? It's from cars and lorries. It's the main reasons. So the cars and lorries can produce some visible signs. Look at these phrases. This air pollution is still a significant risk to health. Okay, this is a result. This is a result. So we need to put this down. And one of the key factors, introduce another factor, in the rise of the this type of pollution is that we have all become much more vehicle dependent. This is a main cause. This is a main factor. There are far more cars and lorries, trains and planes. Okay, this is a transportation modes, isn't it? In the 1950s, and this is now the main source of air pollution around the world. Okay, so at this point, your notes already tell a clear story about pollution in the past. Okay, let's review some of the key phrases again. The number one is air pollution, our topic, and then introduces some reasons, solutions, and some impacts. First one is thick black box, places, large cities. And then factories caused health problems. After that, it addressed pollution because of Clean Air Act. However, another invisible reason. Okay, the first one is visible reason. Because of the cars and lorries, the transportation produced some visible signs. It also caused the significant risk to health. The bad effect. All right. Those are our key phrases, key points, and our key answers. Okay. If you already know the logic and the whole structure of the original text, it's very simple for you, isn't it? Okay. Once you already have these keywords, the final step is to introduce you our RL template. So we can say the lecture mainly deals with the changes in air pollution. Firstly, the speaker gives an overview of air pollution in the 1950s and its major causes. Then, visible smokes and serious health problems are explained in detail. Next, the lecture provides a Clean Air Act and the disappearance of smokes. Furthermore, the speaker illustrates today's invisible pollution and increasing dependence on vehicles. In summary, the lecture focuses on the causes and the development of air pollution over time. This is exactly how high-scoring students approach the IL. We do not try to memorize entire sentence. We listen sentence by sentence, capture the keywords, and let the template do the rest. Okay, this is how we do the RL. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us and follow us. See you next time.